Today we're gonna do a review of the Orbitkey Urban Sling 4-liter. In this video, I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing 500 plus of the world's best bags, and I'm gonna give you my honest assessment of this sling bag. We're gonna pack it out, I'm gonna talk about the pros and the cons, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if you're not quite sold on this sling, I'll give you a couple of alternative slings that are gonna be very close to this, but offer a couple of different selling points. Because here at Nomads Nation, our goal is to help you find the best bag for your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Orbitkey Urban Sling 4-liter. Orbitkey is an Australian brand, and as the name suggests, they actually started by making key accessories. Really nifty, like key holders, many of which that we reviewed on this channel. We like them a lot. And then over the past few years, the company has really grown. They're making a lot more EDC accessories, and this is their first foray into bags and slings. And I'm really curious to see what they're bringing to the table. Some of this bag's top features being, it's very timeless and classic silhouette, a main compartment with a little bit of organization, a hidden back pocket that also has a bit of organization, a charging cord pass-through slot, a big old buckle for the harness system, and Orbitkey's custom hardware, which sort of connects with their modular ecosystem, which we'll talk about in detail in just a second. Now, it should be noted that this sling currently comes in 3 sizes, a 2-liter, a 6-liter, and this guy, the 4-liter. And the 4-liter, as of recording, comes in 3 color options. We have right here, so you can see this bad boy in black versus the orange. Minus the colored fabric choice, you can see the inside of the bags, exact same organization, exact same fabrics, and I prefer the orange one, so we're gonna stick with that throughout this entire review. 4 liters is a good size for a sling. I think it feels closer to like 3 personally, but it's a great size because you can fit some larger bits of gear in here. We'll test out what that exactly looks like in the next section, but it's not like a super small sling where you can just fit like a few core small items. For the dimensions, we're looking at a height of around 6.5 inches and a width of around 13 inches. This is the Orbitkey Sling 4-liter when it's empty. And this is the bag when it's worn on the Nomads Nation team, fully packed out. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". And we're gonna pack out this sling throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Orbitkey bags come with a 2-year warranty against manufacturing defects. And for all that, the 4-liter version currently comes in at around $90 US. And if at any point during this review, you're gonna make a purchase, we highly suggest doing so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best darn bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the outside of the Orbitkey Urban Sling 4-liter. Starting with the aesthetic, and I think it's a good looking sling. The branding is super subtle, just this little tag right here. It says Orbitkey, and a really classic silhouette with the 1, 2, 3, 4 pleats that we've seen 100 times, but I have no problem with it because it works. But one thing I do have a bit of a problem with is that Orbitkey doesn't specify what fabrics are being utilized on this sling, not that I can find on the website at least. Now, this is probably some polyester. It feels like, could be a nylon. Both are ideal materials for a bag. Neither, and it doesn't really matter to me which one it is, but I just always prefer at this price point for there to be more information on the website. So me as a consumer, I'm just as educated as possible for what I'm actually buying. For instance, nylon's gonna be a little bit more abrasion resistant, and polyester has a little bit more weather resistance. So sometimes that can actually be very important to someone depending on, what they're looking for out of their sling. And it should be noted on both versions that this front face fabric is actually different from the fabric that's utilized on the side panels of the sling, where the side panel fabric is a ripstop. Let's get in nice and close so you can see that. Oh yeah, you see those squares? That's rippy stoppy right there, baby. And the front fabric is, I would guess, a polyester. Overall though, I think the fabrics work together very nicely, and it's gonna be a very durable sling because of them. Now we're gonna talk about the 1, 2 pockets in the next section. But before we do, let's talk about this strap, because it's a thicker strap. There's a bit of a divide in the community, the carry community, AKA the community of crazy people like me who are obsessed with bags. And in our community, there's a divide about shoulder strap width on slings. This one's 1.5 inches, which is thicker. As you can see right here, as I'm waltzing through the city, it's a bit more manly. And also if the sling is fully packed out, it can create a bit more of a comfortable wearing experience because that strap is not cutting into your shoulder blade. But for me, I'm usually on team thinner strap. I usually like a strap that's around 1 inch in width, and it's not gonna be as masculine necessarily looking, but I find it to be more comfortable. But one thing we can all agree on is that the webbing that Orbitkey has used on this strap is stunning. Looks nice, little sheen to it, but most importantly, it just feels great. This is like a high quality seatbelt. Like I'd expect this to be on like a Rolls-Royce kind of a seatbelt fabric. Like that's what this is. Easy to loosen and tighten. And you can see we've got a dangle stopper right here that is in fact in place. So this cannot be relocated down the strap, which makes him happy enough. He's not complaining. He's not euphoric. He just wants to live in a world of no dangle. We're getting closer, little guy. We're getting closer. Now, before we talk about the comfort, let's talk about the hardware situation. Because with the thick strap, we got the thick buckle, which who are you made by? Woojin, my favorite. Love me some Woojin. The buckle's great, and because it's made by Woojin, it's going to be durable as And then we got this custom hardware right here, which Orbitkey advertises as the perfect spot to clip your Orbitkey key accessory onto. And that's all it really is though, just a lash point that could maybe be a bottle opener. I'm doing dry 2025, so I don't have a bottle of Sapporo to crack open right now, but if you got this sling and a cold brew, let me know if this opens bottles or not. But at least you can clip things on externally, whether it's Orbitkey accessories, hand sanitizer, hero clip, whatever it is, that's where it goes. Comfort of this sling I thought was very good in chest mode. All slings are designed in different ways. This is a sling that has the design that's like, yo, chest or back, good to go. But don't be doing any of that side stuff with this sling. And that's just gonna come down to sort of the design, right? Where you can see that it tapers off right here in the corner and it gives you a little bit of motion, but not a lot. We got a little bit of fabric buildup right here in the corner as it's being worn in my chest mode. For comfort, for a sling, it's very good. I give it like an 8.5 out of 10, assuming that you like to wear it on chest or back. This is definitely not one that you're gonna be able to put in like messenger mode anytime soon. At least not super comfortably. If you got any questions about the comfort of this sling, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can ask in the Nomad Nation subreddit. Big community of bag nerds, very active. Be sure to ask any questions that you got there as well. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the inside of the Orbitkey Urban Sling 4-liter, which we just got the two sections. Now, this main compartment is protected with a YKK. I believe you're YKK. You better be YKK. You is YKK. YKK PU coated zippers are great because YKK makes the best zippers in the world, and the PU coating helps with weather resistance, or does it? Because water will still get through the seams here and here. PU coating makes it a little stickier, and PU coatings can look like this after some time, which is peelage. Never know if it will, never know if it won't, but it can happen. So we're seeing a bit of a divide in the carry community as well about PU coated zippers. For me, I'm cool with them, but you just gotta keep in mind that like they might not look great 5 to 10 years down the road. Orbitkey zipper pullers did this little heat shrink situation right here with the nylon cord. Love it. It's got a nice little energy to it. And on the black version, you can see the zipper pulls, similar design, just in black. Getting into this front pocket, we got sort of a half moon opening. And inside the pocket, we have the cord pass-through, an external loop, 2 mesh pockets here, and a zippered mesh pocket here. And I think that will be all. And for the next pocket, not PU coated, just the 2 lining sleeves. This lining feels really nice, by the way. Rolls-Royce seatbelt, maybe some Rolls-Royce. I don't know what part of the Rolls-Royce this would be in, but I commend Orbitkey for really decking out the materials. Let's go ahead and grab some EDC stuff so we can see how it packs out. All right, EDC stuff. Got zippered mesh pocket. I'm gonna throw my shades. I don't think it's the greatest spot for your sunglasses unless you're like me and you buy like the $6 Amazon sunglasses and don't really care if they break because it gives you an excuse to buy new $6 Amazon sunglasses. Go ahead and put those right there. I do like Orbitkey's mesh. This is kind of like a power mesh. It's got some elasticity to it, a little stretch, silky feel. I like the sort of tan color. So very nice touch there. In this pocket, I'm gonna throw backup headphones, regular headphones, tissues, gum. I like that we have the external lash point here. Great for a key clip. Again, if you are in the Orbitkey orbit of products, there's lots of key accessories that you can then clip onto the outside or the inside of the bag. And then you can see we got some space to deal with in the middle as well. Actually, one thing about this sling that's great is it compresses pretty nicely. You can see right now there's not a lot of stuff in the sling, but then if you want to put a hard shell glasses case in there, and a tote, and a wallet, and a book, maybe? Are we gonna get my Nike book in there? I think we are. Holy crap. Not gonna lie. This is actually very impressive because I even am surprised by how much this sling can fit. You can see we threw all that stuff in there. So I commend Orbitkey for doing a very nice job of keeping a slim profile with the sling, but giving it the ability to expand when you really want to pack it out with more stuff. Pens on top, that's it for the front. For the back, it's a flatter space, so it could be a good spot for a phone. This is my iPhone 13. You're not gonna get it to stand up in that pocket in the sling, at least not if you want to close it, but you can lay it horizontally. And if you're traveling, I think it's a good spot for your passport, boarding pass, and or wallet. Because A, it's quickly accessible right here, but B, it's safer and more protected against your torso. And if you do want to put your phone in here, you can actually charge because you have this cord pass through, right? So put the portable battery in the main compartment, pop the cord in there, swing it on through, phone in here, always keep it charging. Very nice. Bada bing, bada boom. Just testing the comfort one more time. Keep in mind with a 4-liter sling, it's gonna be bulkier when it's fully packed out, right? This is not a super tiny, sexy, chic sling, but it's fitting on the chest quite nicely. And remember, if you want to clip things externally, right here for quick access, Orbitkey's got your back as well. And if you're thinking to yourself, this dude is nerding out. Is there anything else I missed? I hope not, because that's how much I'm nerding out. I don't want to miss anything about this sling or any bag that I review, because I want to help you find the best bag for your needs. And if you're really into bags and everyday carry and travel gear, I gotta tell you that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do reviews of bags and gear, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, I'm like your reporter on the front lines, dude, where I'm delivering you the most important information in this industry in terms of best drops, newest releases, industry gossip, and everything in between. So if you want to keep up to date with what's happening in the world of travel and EDC, and get access to our giveaways and discount codes, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below, and hope to see you in your inbox. All right, let's talk about the overall pros and cons of the Orbitkey Urban Sling 4-liter. Pro number 1 is its impressive ability to expand and compress. Pro number 2 is actually I quite like the materials that they use, especially inside the sling. And pro number 3, both Margaret and myself found the harness system to be quite comfortable. But on the flip side, I got some cons. Here they are. Con number 1 is the shoulder strap is not detachable. Con number 2, I didn't mention this in the review, but with this design, you've got these corners in the top, which is kind of like a poor use of space, and things can get caught there as you're actually taking them out of the sling. And con number 3, on a sling of this size, a lot of people do like some sort of top handle, of which this sling has none. But a reminder, if you've weighed the pros and the cons and you're thinking about making a purchase or you want to find out more information, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description. That link makes sure that you get the best price, and if there's any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about the alternatives. First alternative is, well, if you're new to the channel, I recommend watching our Nomads Nation leaderboard video. This is just where the Nomads Nation team gets together and we pick our favorite bags for distinct bag categories. It's a great watch if you're looking for different perspectives to get an idea of what the best options are on the market. That'll be linked to up top. But if you think that we're pretty close with this sling, let me give you some alternatives with a couple of different features so you can just, hone in on the one that best suits, kind of what you're looking for. Alternative number 1 is gonna be the Bellroy Venture Sling. Great pick for you if you like a sling that looks great and comes in a bunch of different color options, but you just want a little bit different of a use case. Bellroy has like this dual zipper kind of opening that I've grown very fond of, and a bit different of an organizational layout while still having a great ability to expand and contract depending on how the sling is packed out. And alternative recommendation number 2 is going to be the Rework Toshi sling. Great pick for you if you don't really care about the colors as much, you just want a super functional sling, and the Rework Toshi is great because it can expand and compress as well, but it's also got a bunch of other cool features that are very much ideal for urban life. Honestly, I love all 3 slings. They each have their own unique set of pros and cons, but to learn more about these alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any slings, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.